Good morning. My name is Andrew Coate. I serve as the Director of Religious Education here, and my pronouns are he and him. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old, in the Zoom and in the sanctuary. You are all an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here.
My name is Sarah Rosehill, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a witch and a longtime member and ritualist with the Earth Spirit community, as well as a member of their board of directors. The Earth Spirit community is a pagan community based right here in Western Massachusetts, and I am so excited to be here to celebrate the holiday of Beltane with you. As many of you might know, Beltane is a holiday that was originally celebrated by pre-Christian peoples in Celtic lands. So that means what is now the United Kingdom, but also the eastern, am I saying this right? No, western part of France, and the northern part of Spain also were Celtic countries. Beltane celebrates the height of spring in those parts of the world, even though here, or at least where I live in the hill towns, it feels like spring is still just getting its footing. Some trees are in flower, others are still budding. While we aren't taking our cattle to their summer pastures, as my Celtic ancestors would have been doing at this time of year, we are sharing in their tradition of honoring the turning of the year and the ways that we are connected to each other and to all that is.
You may notice that I take my mask off to speak and then put it back on to sing. Any of our worship leaders who unmask have taken a COVID test this morning. Our congregation has made the choice to prioritize the vulnerable rather than the comfortable with our masking policy. It is one way that we take care of each other. So today's service is going to be a little bit different than usual, and I would like to promise you that there will be hiccups, and it is not going to run smoothly. I encourage you to breathe in and breathe out those imperfections as I will be attempting to do.
Our call to worship comes from Mary Oliver and her poem, The Sun. Have you ever seen anything in your life more wonderful than the way the sun, every evening, relaxed and easy, floats toward the horizon and into the clouds or the hills or the rumpled sea and is gone? And how it slides again out of the blackness every morning on the other side of the world like a red flower streaming upward on its heavenly oils, say on a morning in early summer at its perfect imperial distance. And have you ever felt for anything such wild love? Do you think there is anywhere, in any language, a word billowing enough for the pleasure that fills you as the sun reaches out, as it warms you, as you stand there empty-handed? Or have you too turned from this world? Or have you too gone crazy for power, for things?
Now I would like to invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in our opening hymn this morning, number 389, I would say in your gray hymnal, but the words are on the screen and in your order of worship.
This reading is from the poet David White, and it is called What to Remember When Waking. In that first hardly noticed moment in which you wake, coming back to this life from the other, more secret, movable, and frighteningly honest world where everything began, there is a small opening into the new day which closes the minute you begin your plans. What you can plan is too small for you to live. What you can live wholeheartedly will make plans enough for the vitality hidden in your sleep. To be human is to become visible while carrying what is hidden as a gift to others. To remember the other world in this world is to live in your true inheritance. You are not a troubled guest on this earth. You are not an accident amidst other accidents. You were invited from another and greater night than the one from which you have just emerged. Now, looking through the slanting light of the morning window toward the mountain presence of everything that can be, what urgency calls you to your one love? What shape waits in the seed of you to grow and spread its branches against a future sky? Is it waiting in the fertile sea? In the trees beyond the house? In the life you can imagine for yourself? In the open and lovely white page on the writing desk?
So, like Sarah said, like other pagan holidays, Beltane originated in an agricultural society where the rhythms of plowing and sowing, growing and harvest were instrumental to people's everyday lives and to their survival. I grew up in Los Angeles. Would anyone here like to guess the first time I saw a cow in person? I was 18. I also didn't know it was a cow because it was brown, and I truly believed all cows were black and white. So I was like, that's a weird looking horse. And my dad just looked at me. He said, that's a cow, honey. And I said, cows are black and white. And he looked at me and he said, oh, you're being serious. And I said, yes, I am. But today we are equally dependent on the earth, the rain, and each other. Did you know that one late frost this year ruined much of the local peach harvest for most of Massachusetts? These rhythms are not as close to the day-to-day for lots of us, but they are present and they are there. Earth-centered spiritual traditions invite us to reconnect with the cycles of the land and the seasons. Again, traditionally, Beltane honored the height of spring. And in the places where Beltane was originally celebrated, spring is well underway. And this year, today, it feels very springy here. But that's new. The warmth of the sunlight is still new and delightful, and the nights can still get cold. Farmers and gardeners are just starting their main plantings. At my house, we didn't even put peas in until a couple of weeks ago due to snow. On Friday night, I went on a full moon hike here in Amherst with a local outdoors group. And as I was hiking up that hill, I was so annoyed at how many layers I had worn. I was so hot. And we got up to the summit, just as the sun was sinking and the moon was rising. And as soon as the sun dipped below the horizon, we were reminded just how close we were to those winter temperatures. And I was so glad I had not stopped to take off some of those layers. Beltane celebrates the reaching out and the reaching to. The maypole reaches and connects the earth to the sky. We reach out and grasp the ribbons connecting us to the pole, to the land and the air. We weave our ribbons around in a cycle, making beautiful patterns as the earth weaves around the sun, making the patterns that we connect to throughout the year. And so after our hard winter, as all winters here can be hard, and our time of holding inward, I invite you to reach out to one another and connect with each other and the earth. Happy Beltane. May your spring be full of connection.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Rachel Hayes. I'm the minister of Unitarian Universalist Society of Amherst, and it is such a pleasure to have Andrew and Sarah leading the service today. We come into this time of shared joys and sorrows, knowing that each of us carries sorrows and are lifted by joys along this path of life. We honor these joys and sorrows in community by speaking them aloud to one another and by holding them in silence in our hearts. Come into this time of compassion. Open your heart. Spirit of life and love, spirit of potential and wholeness, we come together this morning to affirm that each one of us is whole, that in the turns of life, with all its joys and sorrows, we are woven together. We touch our interdependence. May every hurt be healed. May every sorrow be met with care. May every joy uplift another. May all people flourish in the fullness of spring. Blessed be. Amen.
we're not coming back to the sanctuary. So I'm going to invite you to take your stuff with you. We are going to, calmly and orderly exit the sanctuary, head over to the social hall.